Throughout time, nature has been engaged in changing works that account for what we see and recognize today. From the work of setting up mountains and landscape to pulling plants out of the ground. This labor of motion and changes must be fueled somehow. Over time, however, men came to notice that certain tasks required a different way of fueling them. The notion of movement could only do so much. Nature could be manipulated to serve fuel men's need to achieve intended changes. Man has been familiar with the ability to achieve tasks mechanically through positioning and movement for a long time. So when an object has to be moved or an animal hunted, man generates within himself the energy to achieve such tasks. Today, the eye of the mind has come to that concept of energy, in reference to that formidable ability to do work. We can manipulate energy for work by our movement, our position, by generating heat, sound, light, by manipulating chemical reactions, as well as taking advantage of nuclear processes. Most of the energy that men create is to drive household and industrial works. The engineering of most, if not all such apparatuses, gadgets that are useful in our way of life, require electrical energy either as input or as final desired product. In Africa, we mainly generate energy through burning fossil fuels, hydroelectricity, and to a small extent, nuclear. The advent of semiconductors, as well as a better understanding of physics, has brought relatively newer ways of producing electricity. While the setup of methods such as hydroelectrical, nuclear, and fossil fuels do produce large amounts of electricity, they do require the setup of a national or regional grid. Green energies tend to provide some autonomy from the obligation of being connected to a national or regional grid. The term renewable energy refers to the fact that these energies come from sources that are not depleted, such as the sun, while the term green energy is more in reference to the fact that the method of producing energy do not emit greenhouse gases during the energy producing process. Africa has a young and growing population, which is longing to escape a life where most tasks are done mechanically to an environment of electronics, digital, and all other technological advancement. The fact is that this modern way of life needs electricity to drive it, and in this case, lots of electricity. For African people, the opportunities to produce gridded electricity depends on the geography, the geology, or the technical expertise in the case of nuclear. Nuclear energy is feared for potential spillage and environmental damages, but can cost less for a long period of time and can be used for lots of purposes, such as security or spatial development. A fact to remember is employment opportunities for physicists, related sciences, and engineering capacity to be generated due to this nuclear energy generation. Green energies are good potential rivals and can be an economic advantage for those who have it. The absence of greenhouse gases such as CO2 will be somehow a good thing in light of global warming effect that they have. Hydroelectrical dams are a good option for Africa, considering the number of rivers the continent has. But these dams also require a lot of financial resources to set them up. So, should Africa stick to one source of energy in preference over others? Well, for reasons of opportunity, training, finances on the one side, and the pressure on demand on the other side, an energy basket mix could be envisaged. This means that various possible methods of producing energy could be exploited. In the end, Africa will need to manage the opportunity to provide great numbers of households with self-generated electrical capacity, while not completely throwing away the traditional methods.